Hello, my name is Mayra C. Reyes, and I am happy to present to you my project proposal for EDL 600. A little bit more about me. My name is Mayra C. Reyes, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of my academic and professional background. I was a Teach for America Corps member, and I had the great fortune of being placed in San Francisco Unified at Daniel Webster Elementary, a K-5 school. And I was really moved by the experience because as a first grade dual immersion teacher, I saw parents, the staff members, and the children really turn the school around. It was originally slated to be shut down and reimagined as a different school, but within a matter of years, they were able to become a more top performing school. And being influenced by that, I really wanted to get back to my hometown community of San Diego, and I began to search for opportunities to return to San Diego. And I crossed paths with Sarah Raskin, founding principal of Epiphany Prep Charter School, and was extended the opportunity to be not only a teacher, but also humanities department chair. And while at Epiphany, I served in a variety of capacities, and I started my path towards becoming an administrator. Epiphany Prep was an invaluable experience for me, but this year I was ready to make the transition to a new setting, and now I am at King Chavez Community High School in downtown San Diego. Go Vaqueros. It is known in the community as the Love School because it seeks to teach arts and athletics and academics through a mission and vision of love. Now, King Chavez is part of the King Chavez network of schools. It is one of 7 schools in San Diego. Most of our students come from the Barrio Logan area and start the King Chavez experience in pre-K, and they stay all the way through and graduate with us. This past year, we graduated 100 students, and for those 100 students, there were 2,600 parents, community members, and friends in the crowd. Which just goes to show us that King Chavez is having a major and positive impact in the community. To inform my plan, I looked at a variety of data points. I explored English language learner data. I looked at the achievement data, attendance data, climate survey results. I looked at how parents, students, and staff members responded. Now, based on those results, I interviewed teachers and administrators. And finally, I studied the LCAP to make sure that whatever my proposal was, that it was aligned to our goals stated in the LCAP. Now, when we look at the ELL data, you will notice that a great amount of our students are long-term English language learners. Very few of them have been reclassified. Now, looking at the achievement data, which has stayed relatively the same for the last 5 years, you will notice that a majority of our students are struggling in both areas of reading and math. More so in math, but they're struggling in both areas. Here we have the attendance data for the last 6 years. We linger around a 94% ADA, whereas our competing high schools in the area have an ADA between 60 to 70%. Here we have the climate survey data from students. They are generally satisfied with the education that they are receiving at King Chavez. Some of the data demonstrates that they are dissatisfied with their instruction in their science courses as well as their social science courses. They feel that they are prepared for college, but they do not feel as supported if they choose an alternative path of pursuing a career instead of going to a 2-year or a 4-year university. Based on the data that I had also collected from staff climate surveys, I interviewed teachers and admins to get a more comprehensive understanding of student performance data, but also of the culture of the school. As a result, that led me to also look at teacher attrition data. Now, teacher attrition reached its height in 2013 to 2014. Currently, the teacher attrition rate is about 25%. While it is down, I definitely saw that as something that is impacting the quality of instruction, as well as student performance on assessments. Finally, I looked at the LCAP goals to ensure that my proposal was on point with them. Having studied a fair amount of data, I took some time to reflect upon it. I thought to myself, what is the data telling us? The data brought a host of problems to light. First, that teachers feel unsupported in the classroom and are therefore underprepared in supporting our high-need students. Also, that there may be a relationship between high teacher attrition and lack of support, specifically in the form of professional development. Additionally, students lack differentiated support in the classroom, and it is reflected in all the assessment data, from the MAP data to the state reported data. Finally, that technology is not being used purposefully on King Chavez's campus. My proposal to address these problems is the following: that all teachers and administrators become leading edge certified to enhance learning opportunities for both students and staff members. The preferred platform to track and facilitate blended learning classrooms will be Schoology. This proposal is in compliance with the following. First, the LCAP goals and action items that were previously identified, California Education Code, and finally, the California Constitution. To help realize this vision, I have a couple of objectives. First, to respond to professional development need. Second, to hire and maintain highly qualified teachers. Third, to support administrators in program development and federal/state compliance measures. Fourth, create responsive classrooms that collect and immediately use data to drive instruction. Finally, address student academic gaps via individualized learning paths, tutoring, and small group instruction, more formally known as response to intervention measures. The following actions need to be realized to make the proposal reality. First, all teachers and the 2 on-site administrators will enroll in the Leading Edge Certification Program. Next, there will be on-site weekly professional developments that are aligned to the coursework of the Leading Edge program. Now, this is possible because there are 2 instructional coaches on site, and I am one, and Mr. North is another one, my colleague, and we get to decide the professional development calendar, and based on our whole site focus and the direction we're going as a school, it only makes sense to match our PD calendar to this program that we will all be going through. Also, as part of that work, all PLC work, which we already engage in, will revolve around data-driven instruction. Additionally, we will develop SMART goals and classroom implementation plans. And again, to contribute to our professional growth, we will all engage in instructional rounds and peer observations. Finally, there will be an opportunity for action research departmental projects. The way the program's success will be measured is through surveys given to teachers and other staff members, much like climate surveys. Also, we will look closely at student data that will come in many forms, such as formative, diagnostic, and summative, as well as anecdotal data. And finally, we will know if we were successful because, as I mentioned, my proposal is aligned to the LCAP goals. If at the end of the year, when we go through our compliance review, if that portion of the LCAP passes with flying colors. I'm sure you're wondering, how are we going to pay for all of this? Well, after studying the LCAP, I became very familiar with the funding sources. So let me share with you our 4 identified needs, the cost, and where the funding will come from. We had a total of 4 needs, 2 of which were strictly professional development, the year-long Leading Edge Certified training for admins, and then the 8-week online blended teacher training for our 20 teachers. I also budgeted for the mileage reimbursement for our teachers and other staff members. And finally, I budgeted for Schoology. The reason I got a site license is we currently have Schoology, but it's not all linked. Once we get a site license, anyone on staff, especially with administrative access, can definitely monitor and view all of the blended learning that is going on in all the classrooms on site, but also it allows teachers to see how other students are doing in other classes and also get to appreciate and borrow other strategies that teachers are using. Now, as you can see, the total cost is almost $17,000. Now, when I looked at the LCAP, I was able to see the total amount of budgets available based on the local control funding formula. And there's more than enough room in the budget to address any of these needs. So, as you can see, each one of them either comes from either the Title II or the Title III. As you can see, there is a lot of work to be done, and the two people in charge for carrying out the bulk of this work will be our instructional coaches. I am one of them, and Mr. North is the other instructional coach at King Chavez High. Now, as I developed this proposal, I definitely picked his brain, and if extended the opportunity, we would carry this out with as much fidelity as possible, but leave room to adjust to address needs. There are a variety of benefits that the school can experience if all of its staff members become leading edge certified. The first benefit is that student data in a blended learning environment can be used to develop individualized support. Also, that same data can help identify students who need early intervention. And the research shows that students who are part of a blended learning program definitely show greater success, are more pleased with the education they're receiving, and have a higher retention rate for students. Classroom time is used more purposefully in blended learning rooms because teachers are using data that they get immediately in the classroom. Also, it allows for schools to grow talent in-house and ensure that teachers stay, which can result in a higher retention rate for King Chavez. Finally, it allows us to be in LCAP compliance. Shifting the focus to the benefit students experience, the U.S. Department of Education conducted a study, and they found that students that participated in blended learning programs, on average, performed modestly better than those learning the same material through traditional face-to-face instruction. They also found that instruction combining online and face-to-face elements had a large advantage relative to purely face-to-face instruction than did purely online instruction. So it just goes further to the point of creating a blended learning environment is more fruitful for students. Some more student benefits are increased student engagement, personalized support, improved academic performance, differentiated instruction, and it puts students in charge of their learning path. Some of the staff benefits are the following. Research shows that educators that are leading edge certified are better able to support all students with targeted instruction. Also, teachers at King Chavez will feel heard and respected because administrators were able to respond to the feedback that they received in past climate surveys. Finally, staff will finally receive the relevant and ongoing professional development that they have been aching for over the years. All of these benefits will ultimately result in a responsive professional culture at King Chavez. I am a big believer in investing in people and developing strong relationships. And I truly hope that a proposal like mine can be carried out at King Chavez High. Because it brings me back to a quote that I've seen a lot in the past couple of months, where a CFO asks, "What happens if we invest in developing our employees and they leave?" To which the CEO responds, "What happens if we don't and they stay?" Again, I am a firm believer that in order to get the results you want, you need to invest in people first. If you would like to get in contact with me, again, my name is Mayra C. Reyes. You can shoot me an email at kingchavez.org or at my personal email at gmail. If you'd like to check out any of my references, where I got my information, feel free to check out the following. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.